So what am I doing? I'm writing a TV show, producing a TV show. What does that mean these days? It could mean a lot of things. Is it going on YouTube? Am I making a pilot that I'm going to beg Netflix to watch a screener of? Or Hulu, or Tubi, or Shudder, or... No, I've got my own streaming service, because why not, right? But I've had it for a long time. I mean, I started building it in 2015, I think. So while I've been thinking about this company, and I came up with the name in 2013, so that's 12 years ago now, the whole point was to bring TV and theater together. First of all, because I thought it was a cool thing to do, because I love TV and theater and movies. It's taken a long time to make it close to what I think it should be. And funnily enough, the more time that passes, the more parts of society seem to be calling out for this, for what we're doing in different ways. The first way, obviously, is how do we get offline? How do we go to see each other in person more often? And of course, I think that has to start online, because that's where we're all stuck. We're all stuck online. So however we manage to go out and touch grass together, we have to agree to do that by talking to each other on Facebook or Instagram, or even the phone call, which is still, a digital thing. So obviously we're starting online. We do streaming stuff, but that streaming stuff, content is meant to encourage you to go out and see something in person that we are not going to offer online. When I was coming up with this idea, one of the reasons was because I was trying to see theater that I couldn't afford. I was writing a play, and when you're writing something, you want to see stuff that's good. And I didn't have enough money to see enough theater to really get a sense of what actually works on stage. Because you can read plays and you can write in a vacuum. What I did for a while was I went to the library, the Performing Arts Library in Lincoln Center, where they allow you to watch recordings of plays. You have to sign in and agree that you only get to see this once in your life. You give them the library card. They give you some headphones and literally access to a DVD, and you watch it. Maybe they've updated it. Maybe they have updated it since the last time. It was great because most of it, you really have to imagine that you're in the audience and not watching people the size of a postage stamp. At the same time, how else are you going to watch Ian McKellen play Salieri in the mid-'80s with Tim Curry as Mozart? I mean, it's really cool. And that's the only place that you can see it. I saw it, and I'll never get to see it again. I'm sure I will. I'm sure things will change over time. But for right now, that's the only way that you can see it, is to go to this library in New York. And as I watched different recordings throughout the decades, things from the 80s that were classic, all the way to stuff from the 2010s at the time, the latest Pulitzer Prize winners that I had to keep telling people at house parties that no, I hadn't gotten a chance to pay to see that. I remember I was at the library at Lincoln Center, and I had just watched one of the more recent plays, and I ran into this theater director who I'd met, who was quite well known in that world, had pretty high profile, was directing plays with movie stars in them. And I'd met her through a mutual friend years ago. So I ran into her as the elevator doors open, and I was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, I just watched, Circle Mirror Transformation on." And she's like, "Oh, where?" I was like, "Yeah, at the DVD place upstairs, a little Blockbuster video thing that we have." And she said to me, oh, it's so much better in person. And it was kind of a confusing moment because I was like, well, do you think that I did that because I preferred to watch one angle flat on a screen with the tiny people? I mean, do you really think that I did that because I preferred that? I mean, it was probably just a knee-jerk thing that she said. But at that moment, I thought to myself, well, yeah, I want to make something that not only takes the best of what I was seeing of that filmed theater experience, but use that to avoid embarrassing conversations like that, to make it actually so that people could just go and see the thing in person. And streaming, at that time anyway, it was like $5-7 a month, you know? So it's a cheap monthly thing. And this is before subscription fatigue. It was before you could subscribe to the butt warmers in your car and subscribe to shower curtains and subscribe to dog food and everything like that. It was before that, and it was, you know, of the ilk of like the original subscription stuff, which was streaming. I'm still trying to find ways these years later, as I have been now running the company as it has been intended for the last 4 years, to go into the next phase of the subscription fatigue and how to deal with that, and what can I do differently from other subscription services in terms of having people subscribe to things. I have some ideas about what we can do to make it less subscribe to everything, own nothing kind of thing that people will talk about in this late stage capitalism that we're in. The thing about subscribing to theater, however, is that theater it comes and goes anyway. You can't hold on to it. So actually it makes more sense to subscribe to that than it does to subscribe to a streaming service where you could just buy a bunch of DVDs. But that's a whole different thing. So finally, we're making a television show. So let me try to find a way to wrap this up.